Okay, so here we are with our next step. The ribs and the horizontals, the ribs and the profiles are all done and ready to go. I have the horizontals on and pinned in place. I did this mostly because I knew there were some spots I was going to have to do some adjusting, maybe a little sanding or cutting, and I wanted to make sure these all guys were in good place. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take the horizontals off, unpin them, and then glue them in place. So we'll actually go through the gluing process this time, which you have not seen before. So we got one over there. Whoa, that wasn't very swift. So now there's a T-pin on the floor someplace. As they have said before, as you get more of these parts in here and put together, it becomes more stable and secure. It certainly is now. This is nice. I like the feel of this. It's nice and sturdy, and we're doing really, really well. I guess I can stay there for a moment. Let's pull the water out of here. We'll start with the water. So there's our little water feature right there, a little pond. Maybe we'll put a fisherman or something in there. Maybe with a mermaid coming up out of the water would be fun. Looks like I need to get a new piece of that. All right, so we're going to put a little bit of glue down here on the ribs, the cross supports, just like that. And then on these edges that will match up here. And one of the things you got to be sure on now, this is where the alignment starts getting critical, because it's going to affect other pieces as you go along. So we'll come down here, we'll put this in here. This is one of the things that I did check. I wanted to make sure that this was level here, this part here. I'm going to get a rag right here because I'm going to be making a mess with my fingers. Some of that excess off of there. And we'll pull some of the excess off of here. It's not critical because all of this glue dries clear. I'm just a fanatic. So we got that down. We got this up in the corner. We're going to make sure that that's level. And we'll push in our T-pins to hold it in place until it dries. That's good. Here, okay, and one more for this. And one of the things I'm going to do is reach over here and grab one of the weights and bring it over here to put just a little bit of weight on here to push it down on that rib, so that'll all dry good, safe, and secure. All right, so this is our horizontal number 2. So let's pull this loose. I did have to do, as I said, a little bit of sanding to make sure that everything sat down nice and flush like it's supposed to. So there's horizontal number 2. And we've got a couple ribs here, here, and here. We're going to put some glue on those, just like this. Okay. And on the ends that actually touch, just like that, and then that end down there. So that's everything that needs glue. So let's put it down in here. And again, these edges are the ones that are critical. These have got to be flush and pushed up into the corners. So we'll do this here. And one on this corner. here and pull that in. So this is horizontal number 2. See, I'm getting glue all over myself already. I'm going to just clean that up a little bit. It's not necessary, just me and how I'm used to doing things, like to do things. So let's come around here now and get the other side of this one. T-pins in here. This stuff is really fun to work with. I'm very, very impressed with how easily this is going together. I'm also extremely impressed with the engineering that went into this and how these things work. Spread a little bit of glue down in those cracks there. Alright, we're laying down on the ribs there, so let's grab another weight right here and we'll put it in the middle. That'll push it down to these 2 ribs and hold that nice and snug. Okay, so, oops, dropped my rag, excuse me. The next one, and the way they've made these, it is really difficult to see the numbers. This is H3. H3 is going to go up here, which I think is a good thing with the numbers. They used to have great big huge numbers. You really had to work hard to get them hidden. Alright, so this side and this end and that end. We're going to need glue, and we'll put a little bit across the rib here. Okay. When we get into doing the verticals, which will be the next section that we do, several more of these edges will get glue and get glued down and make this a very secure, stable platform to run our trains on. Alright, set this right in here, like this. Right there. Now this is going to have a piece, a vertical piece that wraps around here, so I want to make sure I got that nice and straight where it's supposed to be. Turn this around here. This is the other thing that's nice about this, is the ability to turn this around and work on it instead of having to traipse around all over the place. Talking to the manufacturers, they have redesigned this product and made it a little bit smaller initially, just to facilitate that, to make it easier to walk around. Put the pins in here to hold this end up. Make it easier to walk around it and to work around it and get everything in where it's supposed to be. Whoops, pushed my door in there, I didn't want to do that. Alright. And I think I need to adjust this in just a little bit, because I'm not up against that wall there. There we go, that's better. And that works out better, because then the vertical will come right around here and butt up against this. It'll be perfect. So we put one in there. There, okay. Alright. And another weight here, right on that rib to hold that part of it down. And then we've got one more right here, this is the last one, H4. And we'll turn that around so the corner's up in here. So the two flat edges need glue, as well as all of these ribs, because it's going to sit down on all of them. So one more time. There. Right. And the two straight edges. Okay, bring this around here, set it right up in here, again up into the corner, that's going to be our key. Tight as we can get it. In there. Doing. This is just a touch high, so we'll press that down. Run that in there to hold that down in place. And we'll run one right in here, pull that in. Whoa! Overdid that just a touch. It's because I didn't have a pin in out here. Sometimes I don't know my own strengths, huh? All right, I think that's everything. Let's get one more weight right here. We'll set it right about there. All right, so that's our 4 horizontals for the A module. We'll let that dry for a few hours, and then we'll come in and put in the verticals. We're going to, the verticals are going to be interesting. The verticals are going to go along this edge, and this edge here, and in here, and then also up here to give the ramp, which transitions over across a bridge over to module B. So that's where we stand right now, and when this is dry and ready to work, we'll be back.